gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word.
All right, all right, all right. I am back with not part two, but I am back. And I wanted to really stop on the other one, which was talking about sexual trauma and abuse and unpacking it with care. I'm going to touch a tiny bit on it, but now because of comments, I want to talk about distractions. And I want to get that in before I forget. So let me just wrap up my thoughts about a little bit about sexual abuse for myself. And I'll probably have to unpack some more of that later. But for me, I know that's going to be still a process. I still have a journey to do. I still have a lot to learn about kind of dealing and healing from some of those things. Not like it will ever be gone, not like it will be erased, but I will take my time and I will deal with it as, I'm able and as the Lord helps me to heal and overcome those different things. And not everybody can I impact that with, because not everybody, even a therapist, do I want to sit and unpack that with. I don't feel comfortable doing that with every therapist, and I won't. So that'll be something I have to deal with and figure out another way to process some of those hurts, some of those things that I've gone through. So, with that being said, that wraps up my final thought on that. Now, let's get into distractions and staying focused. I definitely want to talk about that because you can have people that come in, they're nothing more than a distraction from the enemy, little imps, whatever, what have you, and they come to get you off target, off track, off topic, off subject, and you are lost in the sauce and you're distracted. You're distracted by what they're saying. You're distracted about how they think about you, and you don't know how they think about you. You're just assuming how they think about you, and you're distracted because they're saying all these things. Remember, when someone says something about you and they're not doing the thing that you're doing, don't pay them no attention. And one thing that Pastor Jay gave to me from a pastor he knows me, Pastor Purdy, we're all glorified dirt. I love it. I love that, glorified dirt. I'm not, and I'm going to say this with all the gusto I got, I'm not going to let a glorified piece of dirt tell me what I can and can't do. Because if you're not doing any of the things that the Lord is having you to do, how dare you come over and start something? Now, if you want to have a commentary and you want to add to the conversation, I'm here for it. But if you're over here trying to be a distraction, whether you're on this platform or out in the world, it's not helpful when people are distractions. Even sometimes when you're trying to be kind to people, they're nothing more than time wasters. They want to waste your time because they have nothing else better to do. And that sometimes can be quite annoying, but you learn to deal with it. You learn to navigate with it. And I don't need to drag anybody. I'm just saying, when you have people who just on your stuff just to be there and they haven't done any of the things you're doing, they haven't gone through any of the things you're going through, and they have the nerve to say, well, you know what? It'd be better if you did this. It'd be better if you did this. Well, have you done it? No, but I just think you should be better. Wait a minute. Hold on. Please don't give me your opinion and your thoughts on something you're not even doing. Now, if you're doing it, that's different. Then I'll hear from you because you have some suggestions, some things that maybe can help me. Then, okay, fine. But if you're not zero, I mean, zero doing anything that I'm doing, then yeah, no. And I don't do that. So I don't like people that start stuff. I don't like people that come to be a distraction. I don't like people who come to be annoying. And my personal business when it comes to my relationships is totally strictly mine. So if I'm going to share that, I will share that. But if I'm not telling you what I'm doing, that shouldn't matter. So once again, this topic tonight, this second part is distractions. Stay focused. I'm staying focused on topic. And I've had people that always want to jump and do stuff and say things like, well, you know what? I think it'd be better if you talked about this. Well, I don't want to talk about that. That's not that's not what I want to do. And I have been learning for a long time that I don't want to be a people pleaser. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a people pleaser for anybody. And if someone doesn't like it, listen, the block effect is very, very popular. And if you're saying weird stuff, then I'll just do that. And I'm addressing all types of people. And when someone says, well, I'm the only one here. Okay, well, don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. You know, I don't care about that. So that's one of those things where you definitely don't want to be thinking about other people who say stuff and then they are really like, oh, well, I thought you were like not the one that I really was focused on. Well, you don't have to be the one that's focused on anything. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to be about it. I just know that distractions can come in many, many forms. And sometimes my ex-husband is really good at being annoying and trying to act like he's somebody else and he's not. And that's just one of those things. And so if he finds me on social media, he tends to just pop up. He's like, oh, it's me. I'm like, okay. And what do I do with that distraction? Do I let it get under my skin? No, not at all. And so when I discuss any of those things, I just go ahead and I continue to do what I need to do. That's all. I don't need to do anything else. So when you are thinking about you're putting out your topics, you're putting out your subjects, and this is for anybody who comes to watch this live later at whatever time, when you're doing your thing, whatever that is, you do your thing and don't let anybody stop you. You stay focused on what the Lord would have you to do. Don't get sidetracked. Don't get distracted by what people say. Watch out for those people that will tell you what you're doing is not good enough. Watch out for those people who think what you're saying isn't relevant, it doesn't mean anything, and you just take your time to just focus on what you're doing. There are a lot of people that will come and think that they can tell you about what they want to hear out of you. But if that's not what has been given to you to share, then that doesn't matter what they're telling you. And just know that, okay? Just know that. I'm going to pause for the cause real quick, grab myself some water because I need to get something to drink before my throat gets a little parched. So let me grab some water real quick. Pardon me. All right. And see, this is the thing too. Somebody said in this comment, maybe you'd have more than one viewer if you talked about what you wanted to hear. Yeah, well, I don't know this particular viewer, and he's the only one. And apparently, I don't want to talk about what he wants to talk about. And I would have more viewers because I'm just getting on YouTube. My lane isn't really YouTube. My lane is it's actually podcasting. And I think I like that. I think I like that a lot. So when it comes to thinking about what people say, listen, there are all kinds of people that would like to hear what I share. And they haven't moved over and migrated over here yet, which is totally fine. I have other people that listen, and I'm happy about that. But for me right now, I have been dealing with my own things and just wanting to be a help to others and wanting to be an encouragement, which I've been for some people for about 6 years, podcasting and putting my stuff out there and sharing and showcasing that no matter what you go through, no matter where you've been, no matter what it looks like, the Lord shines brightest through the darkness. And if you've gone through some really dark moments, as I have, you have something in you that someone else needs to hear. And they need to hear that you have overcome, that they'll be able to overcome as well. So my story isn't for me. My story of me going through something, yes, but it's to encourage somebody else that that path that I went on, and they might be going through something even harder or something not as hard, but listen, you can get through that, you can overcome it. And that's the thing that gets a little bit challenging. So I get on here to just showcase and share my thoughts on different things. And for me, this is kind of the time that I think I'll be getting on here just to share my thoughts. And before I was sharing my podcast, I would do a heart share. I kind of feel like these are those where the kids are kind of asleep and it's quiet, and I can just talk and let whatever's been bothering me or troubling me out. And if someone doesn't like it, that's okay. But for me, the content that you put out, it's always for you first. And it is for me first because I'm the one trying to think about these things, and why I said not to get distracted because I was. I was distracted by all these comments in the other live. And I noticed myself repeating because I got distracted. And that's when I come up with distractions. Stay focused. You have to stay focused on your goal. And my goal for me is to reach my 60 days. It's not about having tons of viewers. It's that I'm being honest with myself, and I'm going to reach my goal that I've set for myself, and I meet it. I'm going to arrive to it, and I'm going to make sure I hit that goal. And then from that point on, I don't know what I'm going to do after the 60 days, but that's what I'm going for. So I'm not going to be distracted. I'm going to make sure that I'm on here like I told myself I would be every night and do this, and I'm going to meet my goal. And I'll see what happens when I get there. But for now, anybody who comes back to listen, if you've been distracted, if you've been off because of other people or certain situations or circumstances that have kind of had your mind just all over the place, get back to the basics. Get back to the basics. And from there, start to maneuver what you were doing before. And sometimes for me, I know I can get lost in the sauce of life and things, like doing so much that I'm like, well, what am I doing this for again? What's the purpose of all of this? And then I have to remember I'm on mission. I'm on a mission that the Lord has put me on, and I'm on a mission to showcase who Jesus is. I'm on a mission to learn more about him. I'm on mission. And this is part of it, showcasing and sharing. And also, this is for me for practice. When you're doing a craft and when you're doing anything, practice is required so that you can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it. There's no need to wonder if you're going to be on cue. There's no need to wonder if you have anything to talk about. You'll be able to find that you are amazing. You can do these things. And that's what I do. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, hey, I don't agree. Of course I agree. I agree. And I'm thankful for friends that I have. I'm thankful for those that are in my life that actually care about me. And I thought the other day, and even tonight, I said, it's so funny that I have friends that I love that are so much closer than my own biological family. And actually, sometimes it feels a little heartbreaking at times when I try to think about it like, wow, to be honest, these are people that were strangers and then they've come into my life and been so close. I can't tell you. They've been close, close, close to me. And I do love them and I would hate for anything to happen to them because I care about them deeply. And it's just like, wow, the pain and suffering that was inflicted on me by my own family is something. I have friends that would never even do those things. I'm like, why? And then friends that get upset, like, I need to be angry for you. You're not even angry about it. I need to be angry for you. I was like, well, can't get angry about it because can't do anything about it. Even when I was in the situation, couldn't get angry about it. Plus, my demeanor is not like that. You know, I have moments like if I need to be angry to get some stuff done and I'm angry, then yes, right? I'm not untouchable for anger, right? Anger is gonna come every now and again because it is always hiding the more vulnerable feelings. So that's that's one of the things I wanted to share. And I'm gonna keep this one a little bit short because I really I really had to just ponder today after everything. It's just like I still have these little these little thoughts that eventually I hope, you know, with time these thoughts will subside and they won't be a thing that permeates my being. And one of the thoughts is that I talk too much when it comes to my friends. And I've been trying to get that one out for a long time. So when somebody says, I gotta go, I'm like, okay, well, I should have talked less. Well, and that's why I enjoy doing this and my podcast because I can speak as long as I want, and then nobody has to say, "Hey, you know what? Stop talking." And when I pray to the Lord, you know, I try to make sure that I'm not just rambling on and on and on, but I know I could talk to Him as long as I need, and He'll hear me at any hour that I talk to Him. He's always available, and He cares and He loves me. So I am going to get out of here because I think I have talked about no distractions, and I hope you're not going to be distracted for whatever the Lord would have you to do. Don't let anybody distract you. Don't let anybody just come and mess with you. And remember that you're enough, as we learned earlier today. And I hope you guys remember to be blessed, motivated, and always inspired to do what the Lord lays on your heart. You guys have an amazing and blessed night, morning or afternoon, or whenever you catch this particular live. And thank you for supporting the channel. And I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please follow on any platform. You know where I'm at. And I will talk to you guys later.
God's gift.